Cancer. Cancer is a very deadly disease that many have heard of. It's a disease that takes the life out of many, basically destructs their health, their mental health, their physical health, their psychosocial health. It impacts everything that they're going through. Cancer is a very interesting disease when it comes to a start. When cancer hits the body, it starts out as one cell. And as that one cell hits the body and impacts the body, it grows into many different other cells called tumors. Tumors are the typical big clogs of cells that are present within the body, either in the liver or the brain or the skin. It's just big lumps throughout your body that grow continuously and continuously without any end. If you look at how a cancer cell grows, you're going to understand that there's a cycle within the body. The cycle that's present within the body that's in charge of the cell's growth, the general cell's growth, is called the cell cycle. Within the cell cycle, you have 4 different phases. In all of these phases, you have stopping points. You have basically checkpoints that make you stop at the end of every stage to make sure that the cell is healthy enough to be able to proceed to the stage after. But when cancer hits, what typically happens is the cell breaks those checkpoints. There are no checkpoints for the cell to be able to undergo. And typically what happens is the cell just keeps growing. There are no signals, there are no checkpoints. There's nothing to stop it from growing. It grows continuously, and endlessly grows until it hits the body and impacts the different body parts within the body. And it could be a very harmful disease or a very light disease that can be caught at first. Now, what does cancer cause? There are many different things that occur or side effects that occur of cancer. If you typically see a patient with cancer, you'll understand that hair loss is one of the things that occurs. A lot of cancer patients lose a lot of their hair, and that's because there are chemicals that are placed within their body called chemotherapy. The chemotherapy or the chemicals that are placed in them are very strong to the point that they allow hair loss to occur. They allow your eyelashes to fall down or your eyebrows to fall down. There are many symptoms of hair loss, and that's typically why a lot of cancer patients do not have hair on them. In addition, there are many other factors such as weight loss. A lot of times when cancer patients have cancer, they lose a lot of weight, and that's because their appetite is very limited. A lot of times the chemicals that they intake within their body impacts their diet and causes them to eat less and ingest less and thus gain less weight. There's also dry, irritated skin. You know, when you have very itchy skin that's always so dry and it doesn't look very nice, that skin is what's present within a cancer patient. A lot of times their skin is very weak, and that's because your body is trying to fight off the cancer cells, not really growing the other cells within the body, majorly fighting those cells that are attacking them in such a negative way. Finally, there's a lot of mental depression, anxiety. When you have cancer, a lot of times you feel like it's the end of the world. And it's a totally common type of thing because when you have cancer, you feel like you're losing your hair, you're losing the physical appearance that you've once had, the hair, the weight that you had, and you would look very nice before cancer. But unfortunately, when cancer patients get infected with cancer, what typically happens is, again, they lose weight, they lose hair, and their physical appearance starts to change a lot. A lot of times they cannot be noticed by others. That really impacts their health when they feel like they have such a dangerous disease that's present within their body, eating every little part of their body that makes them feel like there's no point of living. That makes them feel very hopeless, very not looking forward to their life. And that's a very important factor. Many of the cancer patients that I've seen in previous situations, they would all be very depressed. They'd all be very sad, hopeless. They'd be broken, torn apart by the disease that they have, to the point that they would not want to talk to me, even talk to other individuals, including their parents. And so understanding that all of these things that could be caused by cancer has encouraged the study of understanding what factors of life people could do in order to stay safe, in order to prevent cancer from occurring to them within their future. And I suggest that any young ages, any middle-aged individuals listen to this advice that I will be giving. Through the study that has been gone through here, there's a study that was on colorectal cancer. This study was a very important study because it helped the scientists that were completing this study to understand how to prevent cancer. What are the everyday daily things that people could do in order to prevent cancer? What are the factors that could really impact you from not getting cancer? Of course, none of the factors such as our diet or our nutrition could impact us completely and prevent us from getting cancer at all. It's not a 100% guarantee. But what are things that you can do in your life to try to prevent this horrible disease from occurring? And through this experiment, the purpose of it was to understand how to prevent cancer. There were many surveys that were taken through blood tests that were taken from hospitals under patient consent. There were also many surveys that were completed, such as mental surveys, physical diet surveys. There was also physical fitness and how people would exercise before and after cancer. This type of experiment was done after people were undergoing cancer, and basically those people would have the surveys. Those surveys would ask them how they used to live their life before, and how they used to live their life before was going to be answered through those surveys. And through those surveys, people and scientists would discover what would really happen in the body as these things occur. And so basically, what was discovered was that, thinking about it, you have the first thing that's very impactful is the diet. A lot of times, individuals in the Western culture, in the United States specifically, North America, they typically eat very unhealthy food or very saturated food with oils and fried foods and stuff like that. This food is very unhealthy for the body, very unuseful for the body, and it is very harmful to the body. And I repeat this because a lot of times you're not getting the nutrients that are required when you're eating fried chicken or you're eating pizza from a restaurant. A lot of times the nutrients that you want aren't from this thing. Instead, you're getting a lot of fats and calories that are not needed. So having a diet that's healthy, eating fruits, eating vegetables, doing all of that stuff will have an impact. And it does have an impact on how your body intakes calories, how it stores those calories. There's also physical activity. Physical activity is essential. When you see people running or walking or even exercising in a gym, they're doing this because they want to keep their health safe. When you physically exercise, you make your body stronger. You allow your immune system to be able to get stronger because you're strengthening the cells within your body, teaching them how to go through aerobic respiration, go through anaerobic respiration. They're going under most of the circumstances when exercise is occurring. When you strengthen your body, that prevents any harmful disease from trying to infect your body and attack it because the immune system will just attack it instead. There's also obesity. Obesity is something that many people look down upon. There's nothing towards obesity at all. The issue is when you're obese, you have a lot of fats, you have a lot of calories that are impacting the rate of your cells, the metabolism of your cells, the strength of your cells. When you eat a lot, when you gain weight, that prevents you from being able to physically exercise. A lot of the people that have undergone obesity don't typically exercise. They usually breathe heavily, have cholesterol, have diabetes, all of that stuff. That's not good for the body. Instead, that could invite other diseases such as cancer, such as, Alzheimer's to occur. All of these diseases come to the body when the body is not healthy. So understanding that you have to take care of your body, have to take care of your weight, have to understand how to balance your diet is something that is essential as it will impact you in the future. And all of these things were undergone within the study. All of these things were proven, and there were many charts to prove this. Let's, for example, look at the chart above. In this chart over here, we see that a lot of, including depression is one thing that's very much impacted under cancer. One of the main factors that many cancer patients undergo, since they lose their self-esteem, they lose their self-confidence due to the physical appearance changes and the self-conscious that they start to take part in. Let's see, over the past few years, from 1999 all the way to 2000, you can see that the suicide rates have increased. Suicide rates are usually related to depression, family problems, any problems that cause the mental health of someone to be affected. So, imagine having cancer, imagine having any disease that's deadly, that could kill you at any moment, and you will know that you'll be dying slowly. That will impact the mental health of anyone, possibly leading to people committing suicide. And that's why many of the lives have been lost. People sometimes commit suicide due to factors that are small, not maybe things that they undergo that are harmful for them. But having cancer is something that breaks one's self-esteem. It breaks their confidence in their self. It breaks their hope in the life that they're living within. So understanding that having the mental health of someone that's positive will be good. Understanding that reducing the stress that people undergo through is important, because stress is one of the main factors that brings down the body, brings down the health of the body. Also, proven through research, physical activity does increase one's prevention from cancer. Based on the charts proven above, you can tell that the more exercise that you have, the higher the cancer prevention that you have, which means that you have a very high chance of not getting cancer, but it's not the 100%, oh, I'm not going to get cancer in the future. There's also choices that say if you increase your physical activity, your percentage of being alive is very high, versus decreasing physical activity and eating unhealthy food will destruct your health. There are many factors that impact the body, and you have to understand all of these things. So, what can people do? First thing that people can do, based on the study that we've been going through in the experiment, is eating healthy, having a balanced diet. I know that not many people understand what a balanced diet is. They just hear the term constantly and they're like, wow, balanced diet, I wonder what that is. A balanced diet consists of carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and many fats. So let's say you have to eat some fruits, carbohydrates, vegetables, proteins, and many other fats. Meats are protein, fats. Eggs, proteins, fats. You have to be able to eat from a variety. There's nothing called I don't like the food. There's more of what can I do to enhance my diet, to keep it balanced, to help me get all of the nutrients that are needed to help the body grow as healthy as possible and to prevent from any disease from impacting it. There's also something called exercise, physically being active. Even if you don't have cancer, preventing cancer at a young age is important. And even if you do get cancer, it is very hard to exercise, you're very tired, but doing some sort of physical activity 3 to 4 days a week for 30 minutes each day will have a big difference, a big impact on your health. Understanding that the exercise that you get will increase your stamina while walking, help you breathe steadily, help you not get tired quickly is something that's urgent. It will help you become stronger. It will increase the immune system's strength. And that's something that's essential, because if your immune system is weak, then you're going to lose what you've been wanting. Finally, having good mental health. There's many things that impact humans now. Social media is one of the big things. People are always trying to please others through social media, trying to say, oh, this girl's really cute. Should I be like her? Or, oh, I should probably be like those people, post things online, show that I'm living the best life. But do these people actually have the best life? Do these people undergo problems? That's one thing that we have to understand. Social media has a big impact. Television, media in general, multimedia has impact. So understanding that a life not present on social media is essential, because it will help you understand that, oh, I don't have to please anyone. I only have to live a life that pleases me. So having the self-confidence, having the mental health that's acceptable, ignoring the things that will bother you, ignoring the people that might harm you, making the friends that you need, not in big amounts, but the friends that will actually be there for you, is essential for everyone's mental health, reducing their stress, reducing any of the problems that they have, because stress is harmful. Sleeping is also one major factor. So trying to sleep is one of the biggest things that one needs, because that's when their body grows and that's when their cells grow steadily. Finally, to end this beautiful TED Talk with all of these beautiful people, I'd like to recommemorate one of my friends that had died through bone cancer, unfortunately, a few years ago. This girl was one of the greatest people I've ever seen. I didn't really talk to her as much, but she was one of the friends that I would see around. She was such an angelic person, a person that cared for everyone. Although she wasn't as social with everyone, but she was very respectful. She loved everyone. She loved her siblings, loved the church that she would go to. And in remembrance of her, I would like to mention her on this TED Talk. I hope that she's in a better place, and I hope that all of the people that have listened to this video can take an impact. Young, old, elderly, people that have cancer, people that don't. Just be strong. Make sure that you live your life to the fullest and to take every single moment and make it yours. Thank you.